Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to show you a couple of techniques using Illustrator, using the Rotate tool and the Pathfinder tool. So let's get right into it. Open up Illustrator and we're going to make a new document that is 400 pixels by 400 pixels. Nice little square to work with. Alright, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to select the ellipse tool. Might be hidden underneath the rectangle tool. If you hold down over it, you can pop up that little box, open up the ellipse tool, find the center of your artboard, holding down Shift and Alt, and click and drag, make a circle. Let me go ahead and get rid of the stroke, and lighten this bad boy up a little. And then my layers panel, I'm going to open up layer 1 and lock that base path so we can't make any changes to it accidentally. With the ellipse tool still selected, we're going to draw another right in the center. Doesn't matter how big it is because we're just going to use it to rotate our other shapes. Alright, and let's make sure this bad boy is in the center. It sure is. Okay, now with the ellipse tool selected again, find the center of your second ellipse and move it up to wherever you want your other shapes to be, whether they be circles, rectangles, what have you. Okay, so with this circle still selected, the last one you made, click the rotate tool and find the little target in the center of it and click and drag him all the way down to the center of this circle so it looks like that. Now with your Alt key held down, see how it'll give me that extra little cursor? If I hold down Alt, click it once, and then with Alt still held down, double click. It brings up this dialog. And for the angle, it's a simple math equation. We are rotating around a circle, so we're going to rotate 360 degrees divided by the number of shapes you want rotated. And I want for this look, I want them to be fairly spaced out, so we'll give them 25. And if you click the preview button, it'll show you basically what's going to happen. See how it moves it over there? But when what it does is just rotate it. So if we click copy, it gives you 2. It copies one and pastes it in at that angle. And little tip on this: if you hit Control D, it will repeat your last step. So you can just hold down D and Control and rotate those suckers all the way around till you reach the beginning. So that's the rotate tip. That's how you rotate stuff around a path in Illustrator. We can now select this center guy and get rid of him because he's no longer needed. And with the base layers still locked, go ahead and make your selection over all these circles and hit Control G to group them. And then select both the base path and the group of other circles. Oh, whoops, unlock it first. And with those two selected, find your Pathfinder window. If you don't have the Pathfinder window up, go to Window up here, and you can find all your windows that are available right there. So, with everything still selected, go where it says find the tool inside the Pathfinder window that says -front, and click. Boom. Now what we've done here is we punched out the holes that we rotated around this path out of the base path to create a compound path. And let me show you just what I'm talking about. I'll draw something else behind it. Give it a little bit of gray there. And from there you can see how it will switch up anything that's behind it. Now, what I like to do is I like to take something like this, put it in Photoshop, turn it into a PNG, and then transfer it over to my Android device and make a battery gauge widgets with them. You've probably seen, like in my Ubuntu G theme. And here's another tip. If you wanted to, say, take a wallpaper that you're making and want to make a battery gauge with just the wallpaper, what you would do is you would get your wallpaper in Photoshop size correctly to your device, and then crop out a 400 by 400 area, like say the center or the top or bottom, wherever you want your battery gauge to show up, and then bring that into Illustrator. And I've got something set aside to show you what I'm talking about here. Well, I thought I did. Yep, right there. Go ahead and open that up in Illustrator. And this is just an image I cropped out of a wallpaper in Photoshop, saved it as a PNG, and transferred it over here into Illustrator. So, real quick, I'll show you how to make that same technique work with a PNG image. So, first of all, make your rotation circle. Make sure it is centered. There we go. And then make your shape up top. Switch to rotate tool. Click drag down to the center. Hold Alt. Click once. Double click. And we're going to go 360 by 30. Copy. Control D, 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 hold that down. Alright. Nothing new here, just something we already did. I'm going to group these all together so we can work with this background here. Okay, so lock that group, hide it, unlock the image, and what you're going to want to do is take your rectangle tool and then draw directly over it, holding shift to keep it square. Make sure it's completely covered. Looks like it is. And we can lower its opacity in my transparency window. You can kind of see what we're working with. Alright, now here's the important part. What we're going to do is we're going to subtract the shapes from this square that we just made, and then create a clipping mask with the compound path that's resulted from that with this image. So without further ado, let's move this group, unlock it, show it, move it above, select both the group and the path, Pathfinder, minus front. Now select both the background image and the compound path and hit Control or Command 7, and that creates a clipping mask. And there you have it. Now what you're going to want to do with this is take it back into Photoshop, transform it back into a PNG, and then place it over, using a uccw widget, place it wherever you want it on your home screen, and put the battery gauge just underneath it. And it'll appear like you just have a battery gauge on top of your wallpaper, rather than having the disc. Makes it look a little bit cleaner if that's what you're into, I guess I could say. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. Hope you learned something. And leave your comments below if you have any questions. I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. Oh no, that sounded like a freaking answering machine.